You are listening to our second episode of Let's Talk Togs, and you are listening to Cousin Sam. I'm going to fluff my way through. I've only just started.
Is it like that you said about fluffing it?
Fluffing it, I know.
Well, like Dino De Campo, I was watching him on the other day this morning with Holly. He was saying up the fluff.
That's like me, I'm fluffing it. I don't know. It's random. But yeah, we had some lovely... I looked at Rusty and I looked at Guinness and I found out that Rusty mostly uses his left and Guinness mostly uses his right.
Really?
And Boss just uses his back. Because let's be honest,
isn't too clever.
His tree don't go all the way to the top.
No. I haven't actually.
Have you looked at it?
I think Briar's decided that Luna's left pawed.
She's left pawed.
I think so.
I think it's whatever they mainly use. I think they use either one, but what a lot of people come back with saying is they've noticed their dogs, where before I didn't think it was a thing.
No, Moon.
But apparently it is.
Moon do? Moon's normally is right, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so we had some lovely feedback, and today's episode we're having a little chat about dog body language, how important it is. And did you know, we've just got a few little bits of knowledges. We have some very interesting, I now have a new favourite country that we've discovered, haven't we, Stan?
We have.
We will touch on and let you know what this favourite country is, because all I'm going to say is that every other country around the world needs to sit up and take notice, and they literally need to look into this. But we will touch on that in a bit. And also, obviously, we will touch on something that's amazing that we've kicked off with is our sponsoring our dogs.
Yes.
Sam will give us a little lowdown on that. And then obviously we will touch on which dogs are we going to be touching about today? So
I think we did Ava and Maddie.
Yeah, so Ava and Maddie. We'll let you know a bit about Ava and Maddie. But touching on body language from dogs, I think it's really obvious, isn't it, Sam, that the obvious ones is like waggy tail, showing of teeth, barking, those common ones. And also, I think everybody on the planet who owns a dog or has had owned a dog, you know when your dog's not right.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's a lot more to it than that, isn't there?
There is a lot. I think just looking at the basics and teaching your children the basics is a
very
really
important.
Good start. Looking at the basic for the eyes, the ears, the tail, and just what's the other one? Eyes, ears, mouth, and tail, and just have a good Google of, and just show your children. You can't just go up and stroke every dog.
Yeah, I think that's it.
We've had it with Luna Chow, where she doesn't like being just approached and touched. Yeah. And it actually happened. I didn't realise it had happened until I spoke to Sarah the other day.
Yeah.
When I think a child had just come up and tried to touch her.
Really?
Without, obviously the parents haven't gone through.
No. And obviously there might have been body language from her to say, look, don't approach
There might have been, but I think it was one of those that was
quite
so quick
yeah.
that perhaps she didn't have time
there's other things
to react. But she did air snap. But, it's all about teaching your children that you need to ask before you approach a dog.
Yeah.
Not everybody finds it easy to, especially people that haven't got dogs, finds it easy how to understand what the dog's trying to say.
Yeah, because I thought, before helping with the rescue, I thought I knew quite a lot about dog body language. But then since meeting you and obviously looking into it more and getting myself more educated, there is so much more to the body language. Stiffness.
Yeah.
Sometimes stiffness means one thing, but most of the time it means I'm going on the defence. I'm scared. I'm not sure. I've learned a lot of that from Guinness.
Yeah, he's quite easy to
but he goes dead stiff and his tail goes directly up. So the tail tells you a lot as well, with how it wags, how low it wags. If it's sticking up straight, that means he's on guard and he's literally going to be aggressive back.
Roman's tail at the field. He's always up, isn't it? He's got the tiniest little tail.
When we're at the field.
He thinks the field is his. Yeah. The field we go to is his field.
And the other one was the hair sticking up on the back on their back. What was it called?
Oh my God. It's
something,
is it piloerection or pyloerection?
Yeah, if anyone's ever
got loads of pages of this.
There's a word in itself.
But What,
but
we
it doesn't
decided
always mean
Hilo erection.
Yeah.
But we are going to call it. What were we going to call it?
Sticking up.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because I can't say that. I just can't. It just sounds too naughty to me.
But that's the actual word for it. But
Yeah.
I mean, Luna does that all the time. And Buffy. And
when
Penny,
they play,
actually.
they can do it. When they're playing it, is it over arousal?
I think it's over arousal, but you'll notice Penny, if she doesn't like German Shepherd.
Right.
And if a German Shepherd goes past her, it just automatically goes up.
Mm.
And she is normally, she can normally write it again and shake it off. But and she also has an issue sometimes with Dora. They don't always see eye to eye.
And you can watch them. I mean, I've learned a lot by watching how their ears are, how their head goes down, everything. I mean, if you're not sure, please look it up. Educate yourself with it, because I think it's really...
And I think there is the basic body language, but again, I think all dogs are different and they all, there's the basics of what they do, but each dog has different, you read them differently. You look at the dog that's in front of you. Like Luna's back goes up all the time.
Does it?
And it doesn't always mean.
You're right.
Her back goes up a lot.
Yeah.
She's much happier just playing by herself. She will play with some of the others, but she's much happier just doing her own thing. She'll play with a quiet dog or one that's not going to play rough.
Yeah. I mean, you may think you might know your dog, but just next time you're on a walk, just watch them and observe them, and you might learn something a bit more about your dog.
I'll tell you where I learned quite a lot, actually. I did a course last year, and it was free work.
Oh, yeah.
So you put all your, they had knuckle balls on different heights, like the right sort of height for the dog, and you just kind of let the dog go in the room and just watch them and watch the way they move. I learned a lot on that course.
Oh, that's
last
interesting.
year. It was really interesting. You'd see how they walked into the room when they saw other people and what their reaction was. Were they just, happy just to walk in and sniff around, kind of ignoring people? And there was one nervous cocker, reminded me a lot of Monty. And we all had to go like behind, it was like a kitchen area for the dog to even enter the room.
Really?
Because he was so put off by, there wasn't that many of us. There's probably 6 to 8 of us.
That's really interesting.
But it was really good. I'd really recommend the course, and I'm hoping to do another one.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I would like to do something like that. I mean, obviously my dog...
Yeah, it was only in Worcester.
Was it?
Yeah.
The one thing I wouldn't say to you, Sam, was I noticed, especially more so with Guinness and Rusty, I don't know if anybody else has this when they're at home with their dog. When you come home, your dog's mega excited, and they go, and it's the best feeling in the world when you come home. There's nothing on this planet that will greet you like a dog does. When you come home, nothing. I don't care what anyone says, the dog is the best welcome ever. But I've noticed that Rusty and Guinness back their bum into me. They push their bums into me, and I'm like, oh, they want a butt scratch. But I actually looked this up, and it turns out it is they do obviously want a bit of a butt scratch, but it's also a sign of absolute trust.
Really?
It means they really trust you and they feel absolutely safe. So if you come home and your dog is presenting your bum to you, your dog trusts you and feels absolutely safe with you.
Dog was always presenting her butt.
There you go. I just thought they just want a butt scratch. But you want to fuss their head and then they turn their back to you. You're like, no, I want to give
Dora actually demands, she likes her butt patted.
Yeah.
Quite hard, and she will demand that. Yeah. Until she gets it.
No, I looked it up, and apparently if they present their bum to you, it is, and pushes it into you, it's a sign of trust.
Me and Dora, we like that.
No, you like that. Best bud.
Yeah,
best bud. Get a little
very bossy. Yeah. It's funny because she's got a different relationship with Amy.
Really? Yeah. What's it with Amy?
She's like the boss of Amy. Like when Amy comes to walk her, she'll walk out the house and won't acknowledge Amy. Anyone else, she's like, oh, hello, take a treat. But if it's Amy, she's like, come on then. Really? And she won't go further than up the road.
Oh, Amy's one of our lovely part of the team, a massive help. Helps you a lot with the dogs most weeks. And I'm surprised that she's like that. That's quite funny. She's boss. She's boss. Now, so I would recommend, if you obviously familiar with dogs and you feel like you know dogs, but still look it up. You're right. Still have a look at that. I'm going to have a touch on, did you know? Obviously, I've spoken this with Sam, but I don't know if many people did, that dogs have 3 eyelids.
Yeah. You did, yeah.
I have mentioned this to you, and obviously, where is the third eye? Because I was looking, thinking it's like a third eye. You've got an eye in the middle. No, the third eyelid is apparently in the corner of your eye, and we have it as well. Apparently,
Okay.
we have three eyelids, and it's best you can see this when they sleep. That's best, but most of the time it's invisible. So I think I've said to you, I was literally looking.
Yeah, when Stan sleeps, he never shuts his eyes properly.
Really? So you might be able to see third eye. Third eyelid.
And also, when we've had dogs come over and they've been kind of unwell, you can see the third eyelid as well.
Yeah. Because apparently...
Yeah, we've had a couple.
I don't know if you can say this, Sam. Can you say that? What it that's called? The actual name.
Nictitating.
Yeah, I ain't saying that. But where you want to go... This is my favourite country now. Canada, I apologise, you've been bumped down second spot.
Oh.
We've got the wind blowing it. It's a windy day, isn't it, Sam?
It's just a windy day.
It's a windy day. Yeah, my favourite country, well, our favourite country, isn't it, is Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
And the reason Netherlands is literally the place to be is because it is the world's first country with 0 stray dogs. And
it's amazing.
It is amazing. And I bet everybody's thinking, is this true? I literally had to, couldn't believe what I was hearing. So yeah, this is true. So how have they achieved this? Everyone asks. And I definitely started Googling this. How did they manage this amazing achievement? It was I can't say that word.
A combination.
Combination, that's it.
Yeah.
Strict animal welfare laws. Nationwide spay-neuter programs. So this is free, apparently, to the people of
the
Netherlands. So you don't have to pay for that. That's completely free. Promoting pet adoptions over purchasing. So high taxes. So if you go to a pet store to buy a dog, you pay a higher tax, which prompted them people to go to rescues to adopt. And I just think that is that needs to be across the world.
Definitely. I totally agree.
100%. So why we need to do that here. That's all I'm going to say.
And they have, you told me last week, they have their own police force.
Yeah.
For the dogs.
And I would literally be there. I would, I want to join the police force. The animal welfare police force. Now, this is the thing. So if me and Sam was in Netherlands and we've been told there's a dog that's been neglected or it's being cruelly treated, we've got to go and rescue it. We would call the animal police to come and attend, and they would arrest these people, whoever it is, on site, and there will be a 16,000 up to 16,000 euros fine plus 3 years imprisonment for any neglect or cruelty. See, the government
what needs implementing here and everywhere else.
It frustrates me because they say there's animal punishments and stuff, but half the time it doesn't get that out. But that's a whole different ball game. That, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that'll be a whole of the podcast.
But they put this all in place, and then obviously the one thing I want to highlight is Netherlands achieved this goal without putting any animals down, and without kennels, they all been saved and rehomed. But they have a thing which is called PSVIR, which stands for Pick, Sterilise, Vaccinate, Identify and Return. And I just think that's a good method.
Yeah.
To have that in place. And the thing is, the most important thing I'm highlighting here is the government. And the reason the government do this is because they consider stray dogs as a hazard, and the well-being of humans around. Because any people seeing dogs distressed, starving, or even die, they consider it distressing to the people, so they don't want that. So this is why they've got it in place. And I just think,
how long's it been in place?
It's been out 2 years. So I think it's only the last year, don't quote me on that, but I think it's only the last year that they've managed to get no stray dogs. And by law as well, I think people might feel differently. They have laws of where dogs can be on lead. So they have zones where your dog has to be on a lead. And then there's other areas where your dog doesn't have to be on lead. You get fined if your dog is in one of those zones and it's off lead.
That's a good shout. That is a good shout.
Because I think a lot of that, I mean, we're not going into it. We're probably touching on another day about irresponsible owners.
There's a lot of those.
And I think a lot of people who have dogs are quite worried about walking their own dog because of others.
it's, I mean, it's like with the, I don't want to talk too much about this, the XL bully ban, and it only seems to have affected the responsible owners anyway. And,
That's
you know, it's like, you know, we've bought Dora another walking device because I'm so paranoid that because she's such a big dog, if she barks at someone, you know, I've got full control of her all the time and whoever's walking her is, but because she's so big, if anyone feels intimidated by her, you know, and they call the police.
This is the problem, isn't it?
You know, and she's very people friendly. She is dog reactive, but I've just got so paranoid about walking her. And
well, I'm worried walking Guinness.
Yeah, because he is people reactive.
People. He can be. I can walk past people if someone starts to talk to me. That's when it changes.
Roman's people reactive as well, and dog reactive.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of people that do have who have got the situation of reactive dogs.
Yeah.
And now, unfortunately, in society, is if your dog barks, it's like, well, that's not right. And it is a dog. Dogs bark. Dogs. I mean, early on when they're puppies, I think it is essential to be socialised, just so they don't get that fear factor. But later on in life, they don't have to live with another dog. They're quite happy.
No, and also the dogs, if they come as adults, we don't know what's happened before that. No. We don't know if they've been on the street. You know, we know with
we don't know the story,
but you don't know if the dogs had a go at them, or you know. And then you can't go back, and you can't get that time again for them. No. So you just got to deal with the dog that you've got in front of you and work with that dog. You know, you can't go back to 8-9 weeks of age.
That's where body language is really important, to observe the body language.
Definitely.
Because now you taught me a lot. I mean, we will talk reactive dogs. I think it's a really important one.
That's a huge topic.
Yeah, that's a huge topic.
It's a huge topic, but there are now Facebook groups and the thing with reactive dogs and stuff that needs work, you know, with Guinness, it's work forever.
Yeah.
It's not you're not going to get your behaviourist in or whoever you have in, they're not going to come in and fix your dog.
No.
They're going to come in and show you what you need to do to help your dog feel more safe.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think that behaviour's going to come in and it's all going to be fine. It's worked forever. I mean, Raymond's been really hard work.
Yeah.
He was so reactive when we first had him. You know,
well, he was. I mean,
he hasn't been on lead or anything
about seeing me, but now he doesn't care about me.
No, but he's always going to be reactive. He's always going to have to meet people in a certain way, and that's just how he is. Whereas, you know, Penny's moved on from being scared of everybody to, you know,
I mean, time is
jump
great.
with everybody and
great
love everybody. Yeah, they're all different.
Like you say, it doesn't mean it completely goes.
No.
And it's that person that's willing to, you know, while you know, Sam, I would literally walk through fire for my dogs.
Yes.
I literally do anything for my dogs, but I'd also do for any dog, because I just believe you've got to give them the chance. You've got
to work with the dog that's in front of you, and even if you have an 8-9 week old puppy, they still might become reactive. Something might happen in their life, and they might become reactive at 1-2 years old. Like Charlie was absolutely gold until he was 2.5, and then he just changed.
Terrible twos, as they say.
And you know, he's 12 this year, and he's still, you know, he'll still go for another dog, even though he can't hear very well, he can't see very well, but
he'll carry that. But no, before we talk about Ava and Maddie, we want to talk about this very important case that we've started, and Sam, you put a lot of hard work into it, especially on the internet site, on the website. We have up and running, sponsor our dogs. Please sponsor our dogs. Why is this so important that you sponsor one of our dogs, Sam?
Because without sponsorship, we can't afford to keep them in kennels. I mean, the kennel bills are, for us, enormous. We spend thousands of pounds on kennel fees, and the dogs that are in kennels are only dogs that can't be in a foster home with other dogs. Like they've got problems. Like Daisy's, you know, Luna's manageable in a home with other dogs because she is dog friendly, but like the likes of Daisy, she can't share a space with another dog. Ava, Maddie, who else? Gus has gone into a foster home. He needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
So thankfully they are working with him, but then we're helping him. We're paying for field slots, you know, and we are donation only.
Yeah.
You know, we run on donation.
And that's not a regular.
People aren't donating. You know, with the cost of living and everything, people can't donate what they could before. So we sponsor a dog. It just helps us to be able to pay for the food. You know, we do get donated food, and a lot of them can eat just the regular food, but some of them do have to have a special diet. We've got flea treatment, worming, we've got vet visits, we've got field hire, which is another huge cost because we do take them out probably 6 days out of 7 to the field, and that's, I mean,
and
today.
Fuel and fans need maintaining as well.
And we just need that regular income so we know where we're at, because we do want to go ahead and get a premises in the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's
with a regular income, sorry, that's my alarm.
With a I thought someone was calling up when it's popular.
I'll go off again in a minute. I need to turn it off. Just with a regular income, then we know what we're getting every month. It's going to make everything more possible.
Yeah.
So we're not constantly like, I hate begging for money. I really hate.
We hate asking, but the problem is we're only a very small team, and we basically, you know, we can't. If we could, we can try and get, you know, raise money. Like I go to Waitrose, and very kindly they allow me to be outside and fundraise. But obviously I work full time. Yeah, but if you can find it in your heart to give us a monthly, you know, it goes out on the 1st of every month, and like Sam said, you know, you can cancel at any time. If you know, wonderful that any of these dogs that are under sponsored do find their forever home, we will let you know and offer you another one, or of your or you can choose. Or if you don't want to continue, you absolutely have the freedom not to continue.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are the reason we are a small charity, and we're just trying to keep afloat. We don't want to give up. That is not.
No, I think it's something we've thought about, that if it was a business, we'd have given up.
Yeah.
But there's so many dogs that need help, and we want to continue, but we can't continue with the money situation the way it is. So we keep ploughing on, and you know, we have got a lot of dogs. We've got 20 dogs available to sponsor, and the dogs that, like Moon's probably the only one that isn't rehomeable, but like Luna Chow has been, which was returned 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And just no one comes in for Luna, and Daisy as well. No one ever comes in for Daisy.
So if you can, please take a look at the website. I think you've done a wonderful job there, Sam. And lovely writer. Lovely. If you have the time to read, please read up about these dogs, because it's lovely what you've put.
Oh, thank you.
There's a lot of them.
Click on their photos, you can see more of them, and you can see some of them you can see in Romania, and I also popped a little video of, you know, how they are now on most of them, if not all. So yeah, fingers crossed it takes off, and it really is going to hopefully change the way forward for us.
And obviously one of our dogs is Ava, and she's 4 years old.
Yeah.
She can only be the only dog. No kids. No kids, man. No kids or cats. Kids or cats.
No, she's the difficult one, and she's had a really troubled life. So she was found in Romania with her siblings and her mum, who was dead when she was found, and we think she'd been knocked over by a car. A couple of her siblings had parvo really bad, and one of them nearly died, but you know, he's thankfully got through that. But she went home on arrival from kennels, and then I think she was with that lady for nearly 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. But she was returned. I can't actually remember the reasons for the return now. And then she was in foster for a bit, but she's not a very easy dog around with the dog. She's quite a challenging dog. She's quite strong-willed, so she needs, you know, somebody
some experience,
who can deal with that. And then I think she's been home 2 or 3 times since then. She was home for quite some time with a really nice couple, and she got on so well there, but the couple split up.
Oh no!
And the lady had to move out, and she just couldn't keep her as much as she wanted to. But she did do really well there, and then she went home again, and the people came to the Meet the Dogs Day and they talked all the talk and about giving her time and all the rest of it. And I think within a week they were walking her, they'd got family round and she'd snapped someone. And because she's had so much, so many changes, and she's back to kennels and into a different home, and it does affect her a lot.
But when it's like, I've seen with Sarah, because Sarah's done some videos of her as well, and she's really, when she knows you, she just wants affection, she wants cuddles, she wants...
Definitely, but it's like we were saying earlier, not all dogs need to be included in everything that the family does.
No.
So if you've got people round and you know your dog's not comfortable in that situation, it's not going to hurt the dog for you to separate them. No. It's going to protect the dog and make them feel more safe.
I do that with Rusty. If someone wants to come round and I know Rusty's going to be uncomfortable, Rusty, he's not going to settle, he's going to get unsettled, I just pop him in the car. He's happy in the car, he goes to sleep. Yeah. I'd rather take him out of the equation. It's not pleasant for the person who's visiting.
No, exactly.
If your dog's barking and actually tries to go for the person, it's upsetting all round.
Upsetting all round, and what is just for the sake of popping your dog out for a couple of hours, even if it's half a day, it's not going to hurt them. They're going to feel more secure if you've got them a safe space where they know no one's going to enter, whether it's a crate, a room. Not every dog, and like dogs like Ava, aren't going to want to be in that situation. No. And it's not cruel.
It's not. I think people do have that. They're not included, but you don't, like you say, you don't.
I know some dogs do. I mean, some dogs want to be all over everything, and that's fine. But some of them just aren't.
But we are. So I think we are looking for a special person for. We're looking for a special owner. It's going to give her time. If she goes to a home, we do not want it to be sin to be coming back.
No,
we do our utmost. She needs not. Have that, because it's
really affected her. It's really affected her. She's been in kennels, and then when she goes home, it's a massive change. Yeah, because in kennels, I suppose it's a little bit isolating. She's not having to share her space with anyone, all of the time.
And for Maddie as well. Maddie's same age, 4 years old.
Yeah.
I think she looks stunning because she's black. She's the medium, Ava's medium and Maddie's medium.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that, my apologies. And the thing about Maddie, she loves long walks, doesn't she?
Yeah. Now, Maddie's a bit of a nutter. She's very, very active. I think she might be part of like a hunt-away type breed. She's very active. She's very intelligent. It would be great with someone who wants to walk miles at mountains or running or any of that. She needs a lot of stimulation, but again,
we've got someone who wants to get
in. Yes, because she's been in kennels for a long time. It's a lot putting them into a home, and she has been home. I think she's been home twice, Maddie.
Quite strong on lead, so she needs a little bit of training. Yeah, in that area. Obviously, any dog, if they fall, it's like hang on for dear life.
Yeah.
Don't go try rollerblading, for the love of God.
No.
Which I did once with Barney when on my old Jack Russell. I thought it'd be fun to try walking on rollerblades. And then I suddenly realised I did, but going down a slight hill was not wide. And the only way I could stop me and Barney, because he decided, we can run, he pegged it as fast as he possibly could.
Oh my God.
I was screaming, for the love of God. And literally, the only way I could stop was go into a hedge.
Oh God.
And then the next day there was the imprint of my head, and I'd go and tell the neighbours, I'm really sorry, but I've damaged your hedge. That was only last week, no issue.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I don't rollerblade with your dog.
No, I don't think I'd consider it.
It's not wise unless he's going to stop on command, as Barney didn't. That's Maddie and Ava, and please look them up on our website.
I just had a thought.
Wow.
Can you imagine rollerblading the Dora?
Oh my God. I'll be going down the M5. I'll be like, there's a dog and a young lady.
Go anywhere.
Don't know what I'm doing either for. Yeah, imagine that. Do you want to try it, Sam?
I don't. You?
I've got my scooter.
Yeah.
I do scoot.
You got it with you?
I haven't got it with me, but
I had to go and we tried it with Bandit, didn't we?
Yeah. Try. Yeah, you did. He was going just chickling along. Bandit wasn't very keen.
No, he was a bit scared of the scooter.
His tail was down. He was a bit...
He did it though.
He did do it.
I think he was a bit scared of you as well at the time, wasn't
he? Anyone's scared of me. I completely understand. When you see this face coming at you. But yeah, but basically, that is our second episode of. I hope you've enjoyed listening. And all I'm going to say is, our next episode, we will be touching on what dogs do for your mental health. That's, we can talk all day long about that.
Yeah.
And also, we and Sam are going to share an embarrassing story.
Oh
to do with a
no.
dog.
Okay.
I'm sure you've got one, Sam.
I've only got that one. That one.
Well, there you are. You've got one.
You've got more than that.
Yeah, mine's embarrassing to know that I've got more than one, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, this has been Kez and Sam. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye from me.
And it's bye from me.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.